NASA is saying there are going to be 4 blood moons with an eclipse sun that will happen in sequential order on Passover, April 15th, which is October 8th, 2014, Nisan, which is April, and then Passover, April the 4th, 2015, Sukkot, September 28, 2015. Jesus said in Mark 13, 24, 26, but in those days the sun shall be darkened, and the moon shall not give its light. Then they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. That verse describes a time in the future when the sun and the moon will eclipse at the same time. And God sends planet Earth a signal that something big is about to happen. The sign Jesus gave us to be concerned about his return. He said in Matthew 24, 29, immediately after the tribulation of those days, the sun shall be darkened, solar eclipse, and the moon will not give its light, a blood moon. And then the sign of the Son of Man, Jesus, will appear in heaven, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. That's a description of the second coming. Consider the 4 blood moons. I've given it to you in Joel 2, verses 30 through 31. I've given it to you again in Acts 2, verses 19 through 20. This is not a fabrication. This is written in the Word of God. NASA is now saying this is going to happen starting in April 2014. God has made it very clear that at some point in the future, he's going to cause the moon to turn to blood and the sun not to give its light. This is God's signal to this terminal generation that something is big and it's going to happen soon. And that something is going to change world history forever. The thought registered in my brain that maybe the heavens are God's billboard and he's sending us a signal, but we're not getting it. So I began to look up the NASA lunar signals. And I thought maybe these signs in the heavens refer to Israel. Years. Jerusalem is unlike any city on the face of the earth because Jerusalem is the city of God. God has placed his name there. His integrity is there. Jerusalem is where Jesus Christ was crucified for the sins of the world, where he rose from the dead. But I am telling you this, based on all that I know about this book, and I've studied it every day for 54 years, there's not one thing that has to happen before the Lord himself shall stand in the clouds of heaven. I'm delighted to present my latest book, In Defense of Israel. This book will expose the sins of the fathers and the vicious abuse of the Jewish people. In Defense of Israel will shape Christian theology. It scripturally proves that the Jewish people as a whole did not reject Jesus as Messiah. It will also prove that Jesus did not come to earth to be the Messiah. It will prove that there was a Calvary conspiracy between Rome, the high priest, and Herod to execute Jesus as an insurrectionist too dangerous to live. Since Jesus refused by word and deed to claim to be the Messiah, how can the Jews be blamed for rejecting what was never offered? Read it in this shocking expose, In Defense of Israel.
Mas uma pergunta surgiu. E Yeshua, ou Jesus, como a pessoa chama em português? E aí, e o judeu que acredita nele? Que tal? O que acontece? Então eu vou citar um decreto do Tribunal de Justiça Supremo em Israel, que não é suspeito de nenhuma favoritismo à religião. Ele fala assim, um dos decretos, tem 5, um dos decretos mais recentes, 2/7/96, fala assim, quem aceita Jesus como fé, Mashiach, Salvador ou Deus, não é considerado judeu. Então isso é bem claro. Claro que pela lei judaica, quem acredita no Jesus Yeshua já não segue mais o judaísmo. Mas o Tribunal de Justiça Supremo em Israel também decretou a mesma coisa. É tão raro que deve ser a verdade. Então obrigado pessoal, até o próximo vídeo.